Welcome to Context Bites. Here you'll find lots of ideas that you can use for your AO3 links for English literature. The Queen Mab speech is probably the part of the play that stands out the most because it's so fantastical in its nature. To my knowledge, it's never come up in an exam, but there is always a chance that it could. I find that most students avoid Queen Mab altogether because they don't really know what to do with it. And in my opinion, the best way to approach the Queen Mab speech is to link its ideas to different themes and characters across the play. So that's what we're going to attempt to do in this video. So here goes. Fundamentally, the Queen Mab speech is about a fairy who brings dreams to those who sleep. But as the speech progresses, Shakespeare explores a number of themes. And the first theme that we're going to consider today is dreams versus reality. Now, Romeo is a bit of a dreamer. I suppose you could call him an idealist, meaning he sees an ideal world rather than a real one. He places a lot of value on love, which he believes can overcome anything. He even dreams of love, metaphorically speaking, especially early on in the play when talking about Rosaline. He states, "Out of her favour, where I am in love," and "this love feel I, that feel no love in this." We can see Romeo is completely consumed by his love for Rosaline. He thinks she's perfect, untouchable, and almost godlike. He even romanticizes the idea of suffering for love. The problem is, he's just not grounded in reality. He's created his own idealized world, when in reality, Rosaline just isn't interested. So how does this link to Queen Mab? Well, in his speech, Mercutio makes fun of Romeo and his dreams of love. You see, Mercutio is the opposite of Romeo. He's a realist. He therefore thinks dreams are nothing more than fantasies. Mercutio thinks love is pointless and not something you can trust in. And so Shakespeare perhaps is trying to get the audience to think more deeply about whether love and passion are real or just an illusion that we create. If Romeo and Juliet had been more grounded in reality, would they have ended up in tragedy? Did they let their dream of love take over? The second theme we're going to explore in Queen Mab is violence. As the speech goes on, it becomes a lot darker, and several references link to violence. We see this in the following quotes. "Mab with blisters plagues," and "sometimes she driveth over a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats." Mercutio is implying that a person's dreams, emotions, and desires can become destructive. In the play, like in the Queen Mab speech, we see how strong feelings and desires can quickly turn dark and deadly. Tybalt's hate for Romeo leads to Mercutio's death. Romeo's desire for vengeance leads to Tybalt's death, and Romeo and Juliet's passion for one another ends up in tragedy. Shakespeare is therefore perhaps using the Queen Mab speech to foreshadow the dangers ahead. Our final consideration linked to Queen Mab is the idea that love is an obsession. In his speech, Mercutio says, "And in this state she gallops night by night through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love." Mercutio is suggesting that the dreams that Queen Mab creates are temporary, and that they are driven by momentary desire. The implication is that, like dreams, love is temporary and not real. We can easily link this to Romeo as he falls so quickly in and out of love with Rosaline, and then falls intensely in love with Juliet. You could argue that their love is impulsive and obsessive. By growing so quickly, it seems to take over reason. Just like Queen Mab overtakes people's dreams, love becomes a kind of madness that drives them to extreme action, which we see in the play. In one of Romeo's final moments, he seems to have lost all sense of reason. Out of impulsiveness, he drinks the poison to be reunited with Juliet. Clearly, rational decision-making went out of the window here. So there you have it, 3 ways to interpret Mercutio's Queen Mab speech and link it to themes across the play. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your ideas in the comment section down below. Don't forget to check out the next video in our series.